These five horror movies were robbed, often forgotten about and overlooked. Some were because they were censored, others were banned, some was just forgotten by time. But I'm going to show you why these films were robbed and how come you should watch them. And we start our journey in West Berlin with Possession, 1981. Now, Possession was robbed because it was heavily censored in the United States, it was outright banned in Britain, and despite this, Isabelle Adjani's performance won her a Cannes Film Festival award. This also stars Sam Neill, who recently unfortunately passed away. RIP to him, but yes, the star of Jurassic Park is also a co-star in this film. This movie will question whether you ever want to get married, and if you are married, you might be sleeping with one eye open. When I first started watching this movie, I thought it was about one thing, and about 45 minutes in, it turns into something completely different. The one thing I will say is this film does an excellent job of making you dislike everybody in this film. There's nobody to root for, but somehow you still feel sorry for them. It is full of chaos with twists and turns, and I'm all about it. In recent times, there have been a few freak out and standout performances by various people, but they have nothing on Isabelle Adjani's performance in The Subway. She has this freak out scene, and if you've never seen it, it will make your head explode. The story is captivating, the performances are fantastic, very art house style, but it keeps you engaged, and I'm telling you right now, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. So if you haven't seen Possession, you need to get out and watch it. And now we go from West Berlin deep into West Germany to Munich. Der Fan, 1982, also known as The Fan. Now, Der Fan was robbed because of its own director and a shock marketing campaign. It was a big old thing, the press jumped all over it, the lead actress sued the director, and it completely overshadowed any merit that this film could offer. I'm not going to go into the details here, but you can look it up, it's easy to find. The thing of it is, Der Fan is a forerunner to the obsession genre, which is really common, especially nowadays with the hit movie Obsession out there. Now, Der Fan is a slow burn. It's about this teenage girl named Simone who is obsessed with a pop star named R. It seems innocent enough until she actually meets him and he indulges in her fantasies. This film's an hour and a half, so about an hour in is when stuff starts popping off. And when it does, believe me, it is worth the wait. This film goes batshit insane. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Der Fan is an example of a very good film that deserves a remake. A modern lens new writer could really take this story and turn it into a 5-star experience. So if you want something different that kind of has a dream sequence that pulls you into a shocking thriller with heavy manipulation and violence, Der Fan is the way to go. And speaking of manipulation, what happens when you get a bunch of children who use manipulation and innocence to cause a bunch of murders? That's what you get with Bloody Birthday, 1981. Now, on the surface, Bloody Birthday feels like your everyday slasher, and this is why it was robbed. Not because it's bad, but it feels run-of-the-mill compared to everything else that came out the same year. You had Friday the 13th Part 2, Halloween Part 2, American Werewolf in London. There was just no way for this film to stand out. And that's a shame because Bloody Birthday stars these 3 evil children, and 2 of them, Curtis and Debbie. My God, these kids are evil. Killing family members, killing teachers. The entire film is carried by these 2 evil children. There's even a scene where this one teenager suspects Curtis, so Curtis sets her up by pretending to put poison on a birthday cake so she'll accuse him in front of everybody and just look like a crazy person. This film will make you wonder, should you have kids? And if you do, you better keep an eye on them. For some reason, though, this one's often overlooked, and I would argue that the way the teenagers act is the same way teenagers act in Halloween 78. The musical score is very reminiscent of Friday the 13th, and maybe that's the problem. A lot of people on its surface think it's derivative. But in actuality, I find it highly original, and when I think of Debbie and Curtis, I do not understand why they're not thought of alongside of The Omen and Village of the Damned. But it's definitely worth checking out. Watching these children use psychological manipulation and innocence just to get to their victims. And what's the opposite of that? Well, a bunch of beautiful ladies using sexuality and manipulation, of course. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, 1988. Now, this film, unlike all the others, is a campy B roll movie and in reality is kind of a victim of its own name. If you went into a video store back in the 80s and you saw Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, you're probably thinking, well, that's just some kind of adult film. On top of that, it had a very small theater release. It should have had a full one, and it probably would be better remembered by many people. This film has the most awesome poster that you could see with Michelle Bauer on the front. I met her, she's very nice. But I even had a friend who's never seen this, and she was like, oh, I want this poster. The cool thing is, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers mixes several genres: noir, comedy, slasher. It is just dumb fun. It's about a bunch of hookers going around that belong to some ancient Egyptian cult of chainsaws. And they kill the people and they're using the body parts so their master can live for another 100 years. Meanwhile, you have the Hollywood narration of the PI trying to figure everything out. The film is goofy. It does have some cool kills, but most of it is just comedy off screen stuff where you see somebody chainsawing somebody up and hear a lot of screaming with a bunch of flying body parts. Besides, how many films do you know have a ritual called the Virgin Dance of the Double Chainsaws? Can't think of any of other myself, it's pretty original. And the entire plot centered around doing a ritual for Anubis. So if you like crazy films with the Egyptian cults, this is one that you're going to have a good time with. And speaking of Egyptian cults, Blood Feast, 1962. Now, this film right here is a victim of nothing else but time itself. Blood Feast is the first splatter film, and it was made off $24,000 budget, and it made $4 million. In 1962, that's like making a bajillion dollars. But cinema worked different back then, so not a lot of people remember it. But it is crazy, as it's also a forerunner to the slasher. The main villain looks like a cartoon character. He's running around taking women out. He's got this crazy look on his face to make this big feast that is going to bring back the god Ishtar. The jarring thing about this movie is it has that late 50s Leave It to Beaver style lingo, but it's a slasher. So you have a lot of gee golly, gee whiz ma'am type stuff going on here. It's very jarring, but for some reason the clash of styles actually works. Definitely an anomaly and a product of its time. The blood doesn't even look real, it looks more like paint. But you should watch it not only for its historical significance, but the fact that the movie has a tremendous style to it. It can't be recreated today. It is definitely something worth checking out, and it's probably a film that you're going to enjoy. So, in conclusion, there are some real hidden gems on this list, and you know what? Every one of them's not a 5-star film, but they're all worth checking out. So, go out of your way to see these, and let me know what you think about them in the comments, and if you have any films that you would like me to look at, let me know about that too. Thank you for watching The Derek Ruby Show, and I'll see you guys next time.